Working on my confidence and communication skills has helped me considerably in my career, from going to a slightly above minimum wage to a senior and beyond salary. So, how exactly has this helped? Well, in my first job, when I look at it, I was quiet, not confident, nervous, and that is normally to be expected when you hire a graduate or a junior individual. They haven't had much experience or zero experience, they come fresh from school or college. And now, coming up to a decade since when I first started, I look back and realized working on my skills when it comes to my speech, my communication, and certainly my confidence has helped a lot when it comes to my career ladder progress. Let me elaborate. When it comes to doing well on the job, it's important that you're confident, you're competent, and you communicate well. I was in engineering and I had to work with multiple teams from different sectors. Naturally, I had to communicate with others, solve problems together, outline what exactly is the problem, and then discuss with others to find a solution. Others will also come to me. And when it comes to your manager, your line manager, those above you, they want to see you're achieving targets, you're proactive, you're doing well. And so communicating with others, collaborating with the team, having good references. People above you will see how you're acting in the office. But if you keep to yourself, you're quiet, you're shy, coy, it's not very helpful in your career. So by working on my confidence, my communication, I was collaborating more with other teams, I was making myself visible. This helped a lot when it comes to getting better opportunities within the same job. And so it's really important that you work on these skills. You're making yourself visible in a good way. You're showing to your peers, to the seniors, to those above you that you're working hard, you're trying to improve, you're the best person for the job. And so when more senior positions open up, or positions above you, they will look at you first and foremost and think, this person is a great person for the job. So bear that in mind. And the second thing that helped me a lot when it comes to improving my acceleration in my career ladder and working my way up quicker to where I am now is my success when it comes to interviews. So the key tip I would present to you is to do more interviews. Even if you're not necessarily super passionate about the job or you're not fully confident in yourself, do the interviews. At the very least, they give you a great opportunity for practicing, to be on the hot seat, to be on the receiving end of questions. You have to be able to answer with a slight amount of stress, or you don't know exactly what question they could be asking you. These positions are a great way to develop your confidence, develop your skills, familiarize yourself with the sector you're in, to know, okay, the more senior jobs, this is what they're looking for. You can see obviously in the job description, but when the interviewer is asking you these questions, you have a better idea of what they're looking for. So even if you're not successful in that interview, in future interviews, you know, okay, here are the skills I need to prepare for. Here there may be qualifications or things I need to do at work to make sure I've gained this level of experience, such that the more senior positions I'm looking for, I have that in my CV. I've done that and I've done that well. So when it comes to an interview, make sure you're doing lots of interviews and perform well. If you want to succeed at an interview, you should come across confidently. I was actually speaking to a senior fellow who was the hiring manager or responsible for hiring a lot of the people within my sector. And they mentioned that actually a lot of it is confidence. It's a shame that they actually had a structure in place where they had to select the person purely based on how the answer to the questions were. And they were using the STAR method, which is the situation, the task, the action you did, and how you responded, etc. And so there was someone who was quite good at their job, but they were nervous, they were not very confident, and they didn't get the job. Whereas there was another person who was maybe equally as competent, or even actually might have had slightly less experience, but they were more confident in the interview. They articulated themselves well and they got the job. So don't underestimate your speech, the way you communicate, your confidence. It really makes an impact when it comes to an interview. And the last thing I would say is actually crucial when it comes to going for a higher salary is negotiating. Now, if you've ever been in the position of negotiating, I have. And actually one of the first jobs that I applied to, the first jobs I applied to actually was a fixed salary. But one of the later jobs I asked for, before I started to work on my communication and confidence, they offered me a salary. The interview went well, but I just took it. I actually ended up not taking the job, I took another job. But I took the salary face hand. I probably could have negotiated and had several more thousand in my salary, but I was nervous, I was unsure, I didn't know what to do. Back then I didn't have ChatGPT, so maybe I should have asked ChatGPT, what do I do when they've sent me this email, but which I actually have done in more recent times. But I was nervous, I was not confident. They gave me a salary and I thought, okay, this is the salary they offer, why would I negotiate? I thought this is what they're willing to give. But that's not the case. When an employer gives you a salary with an offer, they want you, but this is not usually the maximum they're willing to pay. Some of them, yes, are fixed, but often employers are willing to pay more, and you should push yourself. Make yourself confident, state why you deserve a higher salary, your achievements, your qualifications, sell yourself. And how are you going to sell yourself if you're nervous, if you're not confident, if you're shy? It's a lot harder to sell yourself as an individual, as an asset to the company that want to hire you. You should sell yourself. So those three areas, working on my communication, my confidence, it helps in the workplace, working with teams, making yourself seen in a company. It helps when it comes to interviews and how you respond to questions, how you show yourself, and when it comes to negotiating. If you want to negotiate, you should come across assertive, confident to push yourself to a higher salary.